Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, my dear students. How are you? I hope you are doing great by staying safe at home, inshallah. Today we are going to continue lesson 4, unit 5, Cambridge book 4. Okay, so be ready with our today's lesson. Our today's lesson is talking about One Giant Leap, the story of Neil Armstrong. Who is this man? What do we mean by this word, One Giant Leap? We are going to find out today. So I'd like you to be ready with your learner's book on page 72 and 73. Learner's book, page 72 and 73. We are going to start lesson 4. Part 1, of course. Today we're going to read a description about a famous person. If you have a famous person, try to talk about him. Today we are going to read about a famous person. Also, we are going to plan and write a description of a person. And of course, we're going to study new words like adjective opposites. As a warming up, what is this? Spaceship and astronaut. One giant leap. Would you like to be an astronaut? Would you like to travel into space? Would you like to be an astronaut? Yes or no? Would you like to fly to the moon? Would you like to fly to the moon? Try to answer. Would you like to fly in a spaceship? Would you like to visit another planet? Except the Earth, we have other planets. So, why do you think people want to travel in space? Why? Why do you think they travel into space? To find out about the other planets? To see what's going on into space? Maybe right. What qualities and skills do you think the astronauts need? If you want to be an astronaut, what skills should you have? Now, read the text quickly, check your ideas from activity 1. What was Neil Armstrong's great achievement? What did he do? Who is this man and what did he do? Let's listen together. One Giant Leap, the story of Neil Armstrong.
At 2:56 on the 21st of July 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first man in history to walk on the moon. He immediately sent a broadcast back to Earth and millions of people heard his message. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. But, despite his huge achievement, Armstrong was a modest and private man who did not think of himself as a hero.
Okay. So, in this first part, he's talking about the first beginning of Neil Armstrong, how he started. And we're going to ask questions related to the underlined pronouns here, like he. What do you mean by he? Okay? The second part.
Neil Armstrong was born in 1930 in Ohio in the USA. When he was 6 years old, his father took him on his first flight and he loved it. His love of flying began. He learned to fly a plane when he was 16 and later became a pilot for the US Air Force.
Again, we have underlined pronouns. We are going to ask about it, study about them, and then we're going to go to part 3.
In 1962, he trained to become an astronaut. Armstrong was perfect for the job. He was a skilled and experienced pilot and physically fit. He also had the ability to stay calm in a crisis, and later this helped to make the moon landing successful. Just before landing, huge rocks suddenly appeared before the spacecraft. Armstrong had to quickly steer it away to avoid a crash. The spacecraft landed safely and history was made.
And
after that, Neil Armstrong became world famous. But he didn't enjoy the fame and wanted to live a normal life. However, the world always remembered him as the first man on the moon. When he died in 2012, President Barack Obama said he was among the greatest of American heroes.
okay, as we listen together about the story of this man, Neil Armstrong, of course you can re-listen again or come back to the video and re-listen again to concentrate on the main points in this text. Now, I'd like you to go back and find these years. What happened why are these dates important? What happened in these dates? Number 1, 1969. What happened in it? Go back and tell me. Yes. Number one is Neil Armstrong became the first man to step on the moon. Step on the moon to move. Put his foot. The first step on the moon was from this man. Number 2, 1962. He became an astronaut. He became an astronaut who can travel into space. 1962. Number 3, 1930. He was born in 1930. And the last one, 2012. Yes, he died. So go back to the text and you will find these dates and what had happened during these dates. Match the description with the paragraphs. I have 4 parts as we listened now. A, B, C, D. Which one that describes these topics? Number 1, Neil Armstrong's life after his great achievement. After his great achievement. It goes with A, B, C, or D. I guess it goes with, try to think, yes, D. Number 2, the great achievement that made Neil Armstrong famous. What made him very famous? Yes, the first part. Number 3, Neil Armstrong's early life before he became famous. I think, yes, B. And the background, number 4, to Neil Armstrong's great achievement with part C. So I have the 4 parts and we matched them with these topics. Okay, now read each paragraph again and make notes. What happened? When did it happen? And where did it happen? Okay? Now, look at the underlined words in the text. What are they referring to? I asked you to be aware of these pronouns. He, him, it. Number 4, it. Number 5, that. We refer to what? He. What do you mean by this pronoun? He. He refers to, yes, Neil Armstrong. Number 2, him. Who's him? Again, the same person, Neil Armstrong. Number 3, it. What do you mean by it? Flying. Where are they? They are in line 2 and him in line 8. Of course, it again in line 8. Flying refers to flying. Number 4, it in line 16 refers to, yes, the spacecraft. And number 5, that in line 19 refers to landing on the moon. Landing on the moon. Now it's writing time. Write a description of a famous person in history. In history means a famous man or person in the history. Use the ideas in activity 4 to help you. Brainstorm adjectives to describe your famous person. What can or how can you describe him? Make notes. What happened, when it happened, where. Write your description. Use references or reference words. Decorate your description with pictures and photographs. So we are going to write 4 or 5 sentences about a famous person in history, about a king, for example, a queen, a famous person in history, and write about him. Okay? Try to describe him using adjectives. What happened, when it happened, where. Try to answer these questions and try to decorate your description with pictures and photographs. You will find it very great work at the end, inshallah. Okay, we are going to use reference words to avoid repetition. For example, Neil Armstrong was born in 1930 in Ohio, in the USA. When who is he? Neil Armstrong. So, instead of writing again his name, we're going to use pronouns. He was 6 years old. He also had the ability to stay calm. This, which means the ability to stay calm. This helped him to make the moon landing successful. So it's called reference words to refer to another sentence or even a word that to avoid repetition, not to repeat words again. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed with me. See you next time inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.